Alright, ladies and gentlemen, this is Minivex Weekly Series hashtag 5 Grands. And it's time for match number 1. It's time for Erangel, and here we go. Flight path initiating from the southeastern regions of Stalber and finishing off towards Sosnoka military base. A decent flight path favoring the eastern regions of Erangel map. The southern regions as well. And it's going to be a hell of a battle. We started off with a total of 19 teams, 75 players. So not that much amount of breathing space in the lobby. Teams will need to compromise with their drop location. They'll need to share their drop location. First circle has been initiated, favoring the southwestern regions of Erangel map. Pre-mosque is inside the circle, and that bridge is right at the center of the circle right now. So the petrol pump, the military base petrol pump, is deep inside the circle, and I feel like the end circle will end up near the petrol pump, is what I feel. But for now, Team Fearless Esports, that is, they are heading towards Team Flash, that is, who's heading towards Sosnoka military base. Fight coming in from Lipovka. Ridzi Esports, they headed towards Lipovka, and they're fighting Team 404 Error. And the first casualty has been given to 404 Error, so not that great of a start they have. And now Ridzi Esports, they'd like to collect the loot as well, so they are kind of busy. And by that time, Error 404, they can find a way to somehow deal with this threat they have. It's getting eliminated from this game. Flawless has that VSS, he's so much close. And 404, they're not even falling back. They're not stepping back for now. Well, RTC Esports doesn't have much area to loot, so that's the reason why maybe Era 404, they're not stepping back and allowing Ridzi Esports to enter in the deep areas of Lipovka. Flawless, he's low right now. Maybe that was a grenade. Flawless. Wybor, well, he almost got an angle on Aim God, but Aim God, maybe his sixth sense triggered in, or maybe he saw Wybor moving. That's why Aim God immediately, quickly just changing his position from there. Try again. Rode across. That's a great spray. Clouded is slow, but won't get knocked out. So now, Era 404, they gotta think something, because the way they are playing, the way they are dealing in this fight, that's not the way you're gonna take down Team RTC Esports, because this team is filled with potential. You gotta pull out a out of the box move, and you gotta surprise Ridzi Esports. That's the only way right now. That's the only way you'll be able to take them down. And Felenda, splash damage will be dealt on Felenda. Felenda is low. Aim God with that Molotov immediately knocks down Felenda. Another opening has been created. Floated. Flawless, but Ridzi Esports is absolutely fine for them. One of the players getting knocked out, but that revival will be much more easier. And Cold Era 404, slowly they're heading towards the elimination. They're not heading towards the safe areas. They're not stepping back from this fight. They're continuing this fight. But they need to understand that they're getting no profit here. They just got one opening, but Flawless immediately got that revival. And this is the very first game of the finals, and not really a great start. And after this, it will be Miramar. Maybe Era 404 will get eliminated in the stages, and after that, they'll be proceeding towards Miramar. So that Miramar becomes very much crucial. So 4 games out of 4, at least 2 or 3 needs to be good for you. If you're full with consistency, maybe you'll need to focus on 3 games at least. Cyborg gets taken down. Try again, knows where Clouded is. And now 2 players have been pinned down. Clouded. Claudio. Alright, that's Claudio. I thought it's Clouded, but that's Claudio. 2 players have pinned down Claudio, and Flawless finally making those final connections, and that's the end. Era 404, now you gotta prepare for Miramar, because it's a very crucial game for them. Urain Sap Alpha. Meanwhile, he'll be getting knocked out. And Urain Sap, they're in the pre-mosque. The fight coming right from the edge. They're fighting on the bridge against Team 18, that is Ruthless Force. And one of the players of Ruthless Force has been knocked out. Hader is knocked out. Prince, Hitman, they both are low. Doesn't have that much amount of healings, so it will take them. It will take time for them to heal themselves back. Charlie with its side angle, he has a hovercraft too, so he can keep on moving and he can keep stabbing Team Ruthless Esports in the back. Two-Face knocking down Heather. And again, Ruthless Esports. This will be their first casualty coming in. Did Udain Sap lose a player too? Yep, Alpha, he's out of this game. So Udain Sap, they do face a casualty. Amrit is way behind. He needs to move quickly. Well, he's moving with the boat. And where is he right now? Well, he's trying to approach the military base bridge. Team number 12, within a fraction of a second, they're out of this game. Kazama Esports, that was. And Dusk Esports. They're eliminated on 18th position. They didn't see it coming. And these were rotational clash, maybe. Kazama Esports, they were trying to rotate early. Yep, they were trying to rotate early. And another team interfering. The side of Esports. Federales was too much close. Teddy couldn't trace that vehicle. Federales just sneaking out of there. Won't waste much time. But Federales will stop and will try to check some shots here. Maybe that was an intentional push by INF Esports. And not much angle Federales has. So instead of getting caught here, maybe Federales will regroup with his teammates because it's Kazama Esports. They're unpredictable. Well, now he stop and check out because this fight is coming from the southern edge. Both these teams are present inside the circle. They can take their time to take this fight on a whole another level. Udain Sap on the bridge will keep on baffling team Ruthless Esports. Amrit regrouped with his team late, so he surely has an off-guard angle there. 22 Esports in the C building. They are fighting against team FL. That is team Flash. Oh, Risey gets knocked out. Loopsy is the last one standing. Snow knocking down 22 Esports is Risey. Loopsy running for his life. He wouldn't like to wait here. St. Oswin. Well, he's getting chased, Loopsy here. And Loopsy's the kind of guy who can really turn the tide. Because we have seen him doing stuff. He goes for the pre-fire, won't be able to make those connections. And now it's a sandwich situation. S12K doesn't even have a extended mag, but he'll keep on running. He'll keep on creating that pressure on Team Flash. Will this time be the charm? Deals that damage on Win. But that won't be enough. Now it's time to heal himself. Team Flash doesn't know where Loopsy ran, where he's actually present. Loopsy almost tried to knock down another player. This time he fails again. Now the S12K isn't that much lucky for Loopsy. The grenade will be right on target by Snow. And that's the end. Team Flash winning this fight in a convincing fashion. 4 eliminations for them, conquering the C building portion. Second circle has been initiated. Circle moves for an eastern shift. And that's a huge fight. Alpha Esports, they're going after Team Killer Crew. And another team being a part of this fight. That's going to be Team Enwar Astra Noah. Team Enwar. The 2 A's between W and R. Enwar. Noah. Nawar Astronova. Nawar Astronova. That's Team Enwar. Enwar. Well, they're off the mark. Killer Crew will be given the casualty. Alpha Esports desperately trying to get their hands on NWR. Thomas has been flushed out, and this is not the first elimination seeked by Team NWR. They already have one. They already had one. They'll be getting another one. So now 2 eliminations they have. And now it's time to hit towards the circle. Well, they're right on the edge. Maybe they'll try to head deep inside the circle. Alpha Esports, they were desperately trying. But now when they've lost all the opportunities, out of opportunities, so they're heading towards the circle. Maybe they'll need to cross the bridge, and there's already a lot of chaos going on the bridge. Okay, they're already fighting Ruthless Esports. That fight hasn't ended yet. Is Ruthless Esports eliminated from this game? I feel like. Yes, they are. Team Sage. Now, they are near those areas of Lighthouse. In fact, they've captured that Lighthouse, and whichever team now uses this bridge to cross will be paid. Will be punished by Team Sage. Killer Crew's Jolie must be the last player surviving. No, Kazi and Jolie will be surviving. But they both are trapped. They had a small 3, and the end will be seen by Team Killer Crew right in the initial stages. They'll be getting eliminated on 14. Team Sage, I guess they are trying to go for the third party against Team 17, that is Snowline Elite. But SLE, very much cautious there, not giving a chance to Team Sage at all to breach. And now Sage Esports, they need to focus here, because now a lot of teams will start moving towards the bridge area. So they need to focus on the teams which will be traveling using the bridge to its awesome community base. Third circle is about to initiate, ladies and gentlemen. NWR, completely using the northern edge. That's completely vacant, so yeah, they can use the northern regions of the circuit to travel. I'd like to see Leo Esports how they are going to rotate, because they are in Primos right now. They'll be using boats maybe, and they will straight away head towards the southern regions of Sosnoka military base. That will be a really good rotation for them, because nobody is going to bother them. They won't be seen by any team. But INF Esports is present right on the southern edge. They feel like some team might use their mighty brains and will try to go for that rotation, and that's the reason why they are standing on the southern edge, so that they can target those teams. Will be going for rotations and get those easy frags for them. G63, are they giving casualties? G63 club, how many players are alive? That's the question. But right now, if we talk about Team Calm Army, they have 3 eliminations. They're heading towards the circle. G63, they are chasing Calm Army. Cancer has been flushed out. Farshad, Hyper, the duo surviving. And both these players right now are keeping an eye on their opponents. And when the distance is too big, maybe G63 will start moving as well. The one thing is pretty much clear, you won't find any boats here now. You have to use the Novorepnoy bridge to cross, and you gotta make it quick, because another team joins the party, and it's gonna be Talk This Lie. Talk, it's 3T. And Special gets knocked out. That was quick. Farshad will go ahead. Confirmation will be C. Uh-oh, Farshad gets knocked out. Meow meow. Knocking down Farshad. Hyper needs to come back. Hyper goes for the tracing. Meow meow is so much low. And Meow meow might get knocked out. But 3T, they're regrouping here. Hyper. There are no teammates around to help him out. That's why he'll just now march towards the circle. That's the best thing he can do here. G63, this team has potential. So maybe you never know. Hype might come out with something. And maybe he'll take his team to the top 10. Or is he gonna stop here? Because we have already seen that he has a great vehicle tracing. So if he stops here, hides his vehicle, maybe he'll get a chance to eliminate Team 3T. Is he gonna do that? I'd like to see. But no, not for now. He'll keep on moving towards the circle. Not interested. He won't pull this fight like a rubber band. He'll let his opponent go. Uh-oh, but 3Z, he was almost caught there. 33Z was almost caught there. And which team that was? That was, I guess, Team Last Hope. Last Hope will keep on moving. There goes the vehicle tracing. 33Z, you gotta be kidding me. Spogy gets knocked out. Last Star is the last man standing for Last Hope Esports. What a tracing that was. Wish you shot connection made there. So now, finding a spot inside the circle, a real estate, that is difficult too. Because there are a lot of players present here in Stage 3. We've already seen a lot of fights, but still, finding an empty compound is still difficult. But still there are some compounds which are completely vacant, present inside the circle. But Leo Star will take help of the southern edge, will play a bit more safe. Circle moves for a southern shift. Peak Z knocks down Meow Meow. Meow Meow gives up. And 3T, they're down to 2. Tokua and A will be the duel surviving. And they are fighting Team NWR. NWR didn't cross the bridge till now. How is that possible? What were they doing till now? Were they fighting anybody? If they were, then... No, they weren't. Maybe they headed towards the military base bridge and they saw a lot of traffic there. And then they made their mind and they just over at Point Bridge. Tokua was almost knocked out there. Unreal. But he rarely misses. And this is that rare moment where he will be missing. A Tokua with that P90 knocking down TZ. Chokinet. Where is Tokinet? Already crossed the bridge. Unreal. He won't stop here anymore. He's aiming towards the circle too. Flash Esports on the other side. Snow gets knocked down. Xenos and Lil Trump. The duo surviving for Team Flash. Malone was already eliminated from this game. Not even a question. Odain Sab, are they out too? I hope they're not, but Odain Sab, they're eliminated from this game. Another miserable game for Odain Sab. They're eliminated on 12th position. Raka will be flushed out. That's a long-range spray coming in from miles away. And I guess Team Cam Army, they're interested in this fight. They straight away slammed in. 33Z collected some information. He knows the Leo Esports is submissive at this point. So he's stepping up. SK has to win his fight by himself. Is help arriving? Well, Messi will provide all the cover SK needs. But yes, he is all alone here in close range. It's a 1v2 situation, not even a 1v1. Oh my god, and 33Z knocking down SK. He couldn't do anything there. And what is Mesui doing? No, Messi made a mess there for sure. Because 33Z stepped up in open areas. And maybe because of the tree, Messi couldn't see him. What happened there? SK won't get that revival, one thing is true. But do they have vehicles? If they do, why don't they close in and save their teammate and win this fight as well? Doing both the jobs at the same time. Because you need numbers advantage for the end circle. Where's Marin? 33Z is desperately trying to flush out the player. Well, Leo Esports, they don't have vehicles because they use a boat to rotate. So one thing is pretty much clear. They don't have any vehicles here. Maybe Marin will walk by and will try to reach Messi. But saving one teammate and losing two, that will be a silly mistake. So maybe Leo Esports has accepted this loss of SK. SLE. Two players have been knocked out and they're swimming. This is water areas, ladies and gentlemen. And yeah, finally the water rendering. Raijin in the waters. Oh my god. This is ugly to look. But Raijin will be spotted by Team Alpha Esports. And we can see clearly, but Alpha Esports cannot. I wish Alpha Esports had this POV. They could have got these easy eliminations. Marin will be taken down. So I was talking about Leo Esports. That would be absolute stupidity to save just one player of your team and sacrificing the whole team to save that one player. That would be absolute stupidity to sacrifice the whole team to save one player. And Leo Esports did that. And they were eliminated. I mean, you were not going to get eliminated if SK was not in your boat. It's absolutely fine to lose one player. Sage Esports getting the 8th elimination. And Team INF, they're eliminated from this game. DRG26 finishing out Federalis. INF Esports looking great. Tokinet, last player surviving. Even NWR, they're in a miserable state. AES won't leave this position because it's bringing them profits. Teams must be thanking their luck or God or whatever the power there is beyond science. Because there are not much teams alive right now. Because the circle, this is stage 5. But the circle is as small as stage 7 or 8. And there are just 10 teams remaining. Imagine if there were 40 players alive. Where would they survive? Because this is such a small circle. And the most important part is such a small land area inside the circle is present. The circle is 50% favoring the water areas and 50% favoring the land areas. So such a small area is present. Such a small land area is present inside the circle. It would have been so much difficult for teams to hold inside the circle. Players must be thanking God. For sure. The early fights made this game easy. Because if this was a try-hard game, then all these teams would have suffered a lot. Sage Esports, they're looking in a really great touch. Secker again moves for a centralized shift. Still, we've not even seen an eastern shift by the circle. Just goes for a centralized shift. Still 50% land areas, 50% water areas are being favored by the circle. It's still difficult for the teams. Very much difficult. Tukinet will be taken down, and NWR, they're out of this game. Team Flash, 12 eliminations. Is there any team who will step up and steal this winner chicken from Team Flash? It's really difficult to happen, but not impossible. And Team Sage, in my opinion, they have the potential to do that. Because they have more players as compared to Team Flash alive in this game. Alpha Esports, but they might do the third party too. So yeah, Sage Esports, they need to maintain the calm. I mean, these players must be very much happy right now that till now. I mean, the last event as well. Sage Esports didn't perform that well in Hope Super Series, and yeah, but here in Minivex Weekly Series, they're getting the performance, so they must be happy with this. Xenos, he's got the height advantage. All the teams are almost present inside the circle, but it's a fight between three teams: Flash, Alpha Esports, Sage Esports. And one thing I'm concerned about is Alpha Esports able to climb up? Will they be able to climb up? Because they are under those rocks. As long as circle is favoring them is absolutely fine. But once the circle ditches them, the question is how are they going to climb up and reach up the land areas? Flash Esports has their eyes on Team Sage. And the circle moves towards Team Sage. That's a problem now for Team Flash. Xenos goes for that spray. Xenos in return gets knocked out. DRG26 humbling Xenos there. That was a thunderous shot connection. And immediately now, Team Sage, they are trying to crush Team Flash in this small area. They're tightening their grip over this fight. Lil Trump is the last player surviving, and it's a big question mark for him. How's he going to save his teammate? Lighter and Mr. Pubgm hasn't moved yet. They both are just sitting in the position they have. And Aura came back. Why don't he just take his teammates along with him and straight away go for the slamming on Team Flash and end this thing right here, right now? But Aura, oh my god. Will Flash Esports be able to climb up? Will Aura, he moves ahead, and Aura will be humbled immediately. That's surely an overcommitting move, and this wasn't needed. What you could have done is just taking your teammates along with you to take down Team Flash. But now I guess Reflex feels the presence of Team AES. Mr. Pubgm gets knocked out. It's a 2v2v2. And Flash Esports, very smartly using this hovercraft. Lil Trump will move on feet. Xenos will create the cover which is needed. And Xenos closes in safely. Lil Trump is in open areas. Reflex is low. Lil Trump gets knocked out. Xenos takes down Reflex very smartly. Lil Trump will be flushed out immediately. DRG26 is stepping up. And DRG26 has got that TBS in his hands. Xenos smartly sitting inside that hovercraft. Maybe DRG26 doesn't know. And it's okay. Oh my god, that grenade of Mr. Pubgm right on target. And Xenos must be so much unlucky there. He just came out of that hovercraft for a second and the grenade came right at that moment, eliminating him. And Alpha Esports 8-5-star 2-0. Just sitting there and got a hashtag 2. They can even get a winner chicken dinner. Just 2 eliminations from this game. And they'll be able to climb up. So do they know where DRG26 actually is? The hovercraft being smoked down. DRG26 is low. And Mr. Pubgm will end it. Alpha Esports getting the job done. A winner chicken dinner for them with just handful of eliminations. Just 3. Just 3 eliminations. And this is why this game is so much merciless, so much unpredictable. That's the end, ladies and gentlemen, of match number 1. We'll be taking a short break and we'll be right back with match number 2. Till then, make sure to hit that like and that subscribe button. Alright, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for some serious talks. We are heading towards Miramar. This is an old school map. Nothing has changed here. Yep. This is the map of OG players. OG players, all the OG players in the game love this map. And I believe all the players in the lobby are all OG players. Well, the flight path is here, jokes apart. Initiating from Valentine, finishing off to his Campo Militar. The flight path favoring the central regions of Miramar. So yeah, the northwestern regions. It will be difficult to head to his northwestern regions. It will be difficult to head to the southeastern regions. And mainly the fights will happen in the central regions of Miramar map. FA Esports heading to his Valladolmar. I'm surprised that Team 22 Esports is not heading to his Valladolmar. In fact, their primary drop location is Valladolmar. But, I mean, change in plans. Reinsap heading to his Chumacera. NWR, they're heading to his Chumacera too. So one of the players of Alpha Esports, that is Alpha, has dropped so much separately. I don't know the logic behind that strategy, but maybe he'll collect vehicles and he'll head back to his Valladolmar and he'll end up creating a sandwich situation for Team 4, that is Team Leo Esports. Yep. Maybe he'll end up creating a sandwich situation for Leo Esports, but Alpha Esports completely focusing on loot. Mr. Pro Bro, so much closer to Team Leo Esports, and more than him, Lighter is pretty much close to the players of Leo Esports. Bosque is on the rooftop, maybe he spotted Soya versus Bosque might happen. He's having that M1 Gerard. 22 Esports, they are into action. We were talking about them, that they didn't head towards their primary drop location, Valladolmar. But is 22 Esports eliminated from this game? Yup. 22 Esports is out. Soya gets knocked out. M1 Gerard will be used wisely there by Bosque. Half of the job is done. No need to worry about the flush. But Bosque, you need to be careful because somebody is watching your back. And that's going to be Lighter, who easily access the bridge. And from here, Lighter will knock down Bosque. He even has that SKS, and Bosque doesn't even have a vest right now. There goes in those shots. Oh my goodness, Lighter has made a mess there. There was no need to hurry. There was no control on that SKS. Lighter gets knocked out in retaliation. Bosque, you gotta be kidding me. Creating two openings with that M1 Gerard. Leo Esports heading to his Mr. Pro Bro. FI Esports got a winner with a chicken in the last game. And here, in the start of this Miramar, it's absolute misery. They're about to get eliminated. The last player Alpha doesn't need to now come back to his Valladolmar. He better keep going. Prince going for the revival, and he'll be taken down within a fraction of a second. G63 will be winning that fight. Hyper 5 eliminations will contribute out of 6. So yeah, G63, pretty amazing job they've done here in San Martin. Killer Crew, my goodness, they're eliminated from this game too. Killer Crew, they're eliminated on 16th position. Team Flash got a #3 the last game, got eliminated because of lack of luck. And they're in Los Leones. Nobody is present here in Los Leones. SLE Lakai gets knocked out. Straight away we'll head on to Team SLE. They're down to 3 players. Fighting Error 404. Kira! Just missed an angle on Felinda, and Kira took an extra second to just adjust his or her aim. And Felinda taking advantage of the situation. Coco, Psycho is the duo surviving. And they both are separated, so Error 404 will find it easy to eliminate these players one by one. And Psycho is under huge threat. Coco was trying to knock down a player. That is Yorix. Uh-oh. Weibo will take down Coco and Team SLE. They're eliminated on 15th position. So many fights happening. And this Miramar has been a really aggressive start. Usually in Miramar, teams play with absolute discipline, but we haven't seen any kind of discipline thing happening here in Miramar. Teams just going nuts. Completely focusing on their gun power. Urain Sab, they're taking on Team 3T. Fight coming up from Puerto Paraiso. Urain Sab doesn't lose much fights in Puerto Paraiso. They rarely lose, in fact. in Puerto Paraiso, and this was not a start they were looking for. Amrit Bolte has a explosive bow. Well, we'll have to see if he can use that explosive bow wisely or not. I think it's special how far away he is. Ace might end up in open. Amrit Bolte is moving too much. But Ace has a vehicle and he'll give a lift to special. He's heading back. Amrit is in a way too open area. He spotted Tokua there and even Meow Meow. So now sort of information has been collected by Team Udain Sap that there's a 2-2 split maintained by Team 3T. And these 4 players can try to cast Meow Meow and Tokua off guard. And by that time Ace will collect 3T special. It's gonna take time. And only Amrit Bolte is the guy who has stepped up. And he is ahead of his teammates. Yeah. It will take time for the other players to reunite with Amrit. But hey, in Sam, maybe they're trying to create some angles. They know 3T is trying to move towards the circle. They will try to maybe cut off the rotation of Team 3T. Alpha climbing up that ramp. And we'll have to see, can he create any angles from this particular position? Because Tokua, maybe he's in a wide open area. But 3T, they know about Udain Sap's position. Tokua doesn't even have a weapon here. So, in a miserable state, Team 3T is. Just a swayed off, that's not enough. A swayed off is not at all enough. And Tokua is now running back towards his teammates. Maybe Ace will give him a lift towards a small drop location where at least Tokua can get a weapon for himself. Tokua will be seen by the players. Alpha got a bit late to deal those shots. But he made some amount of connections there on 3T Tokua, but that wasn't enough. And as I said, he got a bit late there to spot Tokua. If he had seen him before, then maybe he could have knocked him out. But that didn't happen, so now Udain Sap, stop stretching this fight like a rubber band. Head towards the circle, that would be a great win for you. Getting out of this fight with no eliminations. No casualty. Still fine. But Team Flash in Los Leones, there's a surprise for them because Kazama Esports will be entering Los Leones as guests. And they'll be threatening the owners of Los Leones, that is Team Flash. Which is crazy. Checker moves for a northern shift. And yep, Udain Sap not wasting much time behind that fight. They are heading towards the circle. Near Minas Generalist is Team 3. That is supposed to be Team Sage. Team Sage got a hashtag 2 in the last game, so they need to maintain the consistency. Era 404, they got eliminated first in the Erangel game. And I said it right when they got eliminated. I called it that they'll need to focus on the Miramar. If they want to finish on the tabletop in this Grands, yup, you'll need to focus on this Miramar, because after this it's going to be Rondo, Erangel, just 2 games. And if you spend great time in Erangel and Miramar, if you have a great Erangel and Miramar, then only there are higher probabilities of you playing Rondo well, because you don't have much pressure on yourself. So yeah, Era 404 will need to look into it. Same goes with Team Kazama as well, because last game wasn't that great for Team Kazama. So Team Kazama as well, they'll need to focus on this Miramar game. And usually Kazama Esports, they're really good at Miramar. They play this map so well, because they have a lot of experience of this map. But you're competing with one of the finest players of Europe. So your experience doesn't really count here, because all the other opponents, all the players on the map, your opponents, has the same experience as you. So the experience thing, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't make a huge difference. Hyper knocking down Ryuga, and just now we had a long debate about Era 404. And immediately they'll be on the negative side of the finish feed. They'll be facing a casualty, and they're fighting G63. Weibo needs help. Weibo knocks down a player, but immediately gets caught. Cloutier, Felinda is the two surviving, and I guess Cancer gets knocked out too. So this is the time, this is the opportunity for Cloutier and Felinda to close in and wipe the existence of Team G63 from this game. Cloutier will try to throw that grenade as deep as possible, but that won't really happen. Cloutier moving ahead, knocks down a player, but Cloutier in return gets knocked out too. Felinda, last player surviving. Felinda is a bit behind. Felinda goes for the grenade, might knock down G63. Uh-oh. Felinda misses. So G63 won't get knocked out. Felinda trying to bait G63 now with that grenade. Again, it won't happen. And Felinda has to, wind up this fight as soon as possible because Kazama Esports is squaring up right in the outer skirt. So there is a huge chance of third party happening here. And that frag has been stolen. Felinda knocks down a player. Felinda switches on to FPP, but Forshit takes Felinda down. And that's the end. G63 wins that fight. But Kazama Esports, here they come. Kazama Esports entering the same compound, and they are interested in this fight. Forshit again provides the revival to G63. And Team G63, they're so quick at it. Reviving the players, bouncing back from the setbacks. And now Cancer needs to heal himself. He'll easily do that. But surviving those grenades in such a small area is a huge task. And G63 gets knocked down. King with that grenade. And those grenades won't stop coming. And again, that revival is being provided. The G63 will be flushed out. Forshit is the last man standing, and he'll be taken down by Kazama Esports' wreck. So that's game over. Elimination coming in for Team G63. They're eliminated on 13th position. Dusk Esports as well, losing one of their players. And sort of an ugly start for Dusk Esports from this Miramar game. Last game was ugly too. And here the same thing happening. They're down to just one player. And what is he gonna do now? Surviving is the only option he has. Kazama Esports with a great execution. Using their utilities well. And I mean, that was the very obvious thing. Any team would do that. After going for a slamming in that compound where those houses are so small. The team is being suppressed in a really small area. That's the pretty obvious thing a team would do. Cam Army. 7 elims. That's great. Leo Esports' SK gets knocked out. SK will be flushed out. Leo Esports is never able to save SK. And just to save SK, the whole team is eliminated. That's the most of the times story we see. Leo Esports. In the last game as well, they were trying to save SK and the whole team was surrendered. NWR, it is, was going after Team Leo Esports. Chukinet is in a sandwich situation, but despite of being low, Chukinet knocking down a player. Thomas arrives a bit late. Uses the seat. Creates an opening there. The spray is coming in from the back end area as this Messi, the last player surviving at Leo Esports. And yep, NWR is going to pay back really well. Leo Esports is going to get eliminated from this game, that's for sure. Messi trying his very best to make the situation manageable, but gets caught in a pre-fire of Unreal. And NWR wins that fight. Leo Esports gets eliminated on 11th position. Ten teams, 31 players alive. Stage 3 has been initiated. Central and the Eastern regions is heavily accessed by teams and players. Well, we'll head on to this airdrop. MG3, the devil's favorite weapon, MG3 with level 3 gears, 4 times scope, and 100 bullets of 7.62. So yeah, this can be a valuable weapon in Miramar. And we've seen so many times players using MG3 as their primary weapon for close range fights. Because now we are gonna finish up with the shotgun meta in the 4.4 update. And then we won't see any shotguns. We will just see pure assaulting in close range. Shotguns will vanish completely. And I guess this is the time where you should try to practice your assaulting skills by using different kinds of assault rifles, SMGs, even LMGs you can try. And I feel like DP28 might be the weapon in future which will be used on a very large scale for close range fights. Because I feel like DP28 and M249 has the potential. And at this point, M249 is pretty much common for close range fights. When you don't have an option, M249 is the weapon you would blindly trust on. But DP28, in my opinion, is such an underrated weapon. I myself has used DP28 so many times. And for close range as well, it's such a balanced weapon for close range and mid range fights. Yeah, it's a thing that it takes a lot of time to reload, but it's still fine. You have to lose something in order to gain something. So if you are gaining accuracy with DP28, you will have to maybe compromise with the reload thing. That's okay. And DP, I mean, you can use it for close range, mid range, and long range as well. So if you have a secondary weapon like M416 or an AKM DP28 combination is the OG combination. I love that. I just love that. AKM in close range is unmatched. DP28 and AKM. I mean, DP28 is OG for anything. Sage Esports versus Cam Army. Cam Army has started taking the initiatives too. Facing God is low. Maybe he'll heal himself. Oh, Reflex. He's about to get caught inside the vehicle. That was just a random grenade. Cam Army doesn't really know about Reflex's position. Maybe a random grenade inside the smoke would bother Reflex. Well, Wujin will go for the grenade, but Reflex won't get knocked out for now. Facing God gets knocked out. A DRG-26 position inside that car is so much underrated. Zero gets knocked out. Reflex gets knocked out too. DRG-26 finally stepping out of that vehicle. Rudy cannot help much. DRG-26 buying some time for himself so that he can heal himself. Yep. He will successfully heal himself, but 33Z finishing Reflex, knocking down DRG-26. Well, Reflex didn't do a good job there. He was knocked out, and he was heading to his DRG-26, making it very much obvious for the players of Cam Army that where DRG-26 was holding. That was pretty much obvious. He gave all the information to his opponents about 26's location. So now Rudy, Decent God is the duel surviving, and Rudy again is being followed by the S12 cable, knocks down a player. Decent God, you gotta deal with two players. Pixel Peak, that was really quick. Oh my God. Rujin puts in the final nail in the coffin, and Team Sage Esports gets eliminated on 9th position. That was a great fight. It was a roller coaster ride. Rujin is the last man standing with 30 elims for Cam Army. And a lot of people must be saying that I have a shitty choice. AKM and DP28. A lot of people must be thinking this after me giving this statement on gun combinations. But it is what it is. Try and then see. Try and see how it is. I feel like it's good. It's the best. The most underrated and the most overpowered. AKM and DP. Barrel is an overhyped weapon. It's like a high maintenance girlfriend. You give it everything, but it will still deter you. You'll have to give it a mag. You'll have to give it a compensator, a grip, maybe a laser light. You'll have to find all the attachments in this world, and then still Beryl would end up ditching you. But AKM, it's a low maintenance girl. You just have to give it an extended mag. It will still work the same. Wujin gets knocked down. It's Malone on the other end targeting Team 3T. Special is knocked out in a wide open area. And 3T was, I guess, blocking the circle for Team Flash. And they ended up paying. Rain Sap, far away from fights. Cam Army is doing a great job in this Miramar. They're dominating this game. Wujin gets that revival. Two-Face gets knocked out. Definitely that's a long-range knock coming in. Cam Army, do they have vehicles? The 33Z, 0 heading towards the circle, leaving Wujin behind. Maybe Wujin will find a vehicle for himself. But this is a great spot where 33Z can hold. But they are maybe cutting off the rotation of Team Kazama Esports. They were almost succeeded. King is so much low. Well, now Cam Army, they will be trapped. Kazama Esports, can they bury Team Cam Army here in their own pit? Wreck is low. Great execution there by Cam Army. And all the players will be flushed. But Zero will be taken down by Bat. How bad is that? Kazama Esports ended up eliminating Cam Army from this game. What a fight. 6 teams, 13 players remaining. 3T. Flash Esports again. NWR in this game has been pretty decent. Scofield, I don't know how he has been surviving till now. But now it's time to show up. It's time for some action. It's time for some violence. Scofield has to show. Uh-oh. Easily he'll be taken down. Dusk Esports is out. Battle will be taken down. 2 more eliminations coming in for INF. 4 teams. 11 players. Kazama Esports getting eliminated on 5th position. Pretty decent play by their side too. And pumping themselves up for the upcoming Rondo game. 3T. They gotta dodge those bullets and enter the circle no matter what. They'll be getting a small area inside the circle. It's such a wide open area. And Flash Esports can easily backstab Team 3T here. Tony knocking down NWR Thomas, INF Esports on the other side. They're bothering Team NWR, and NWR, they're eliminated from this game. So just 3 teams are now alive. Flash Esports versus INF versus Team 3T. And 3T has a miserable position right now. It's so much difficult to survive there. They have low ground disadvantage. And they have all the Infinity Stones to lose this fight and not to win. But what? 2 players of Flash Esports have been knocked out. And Malone maybe is the solo player surviving. And surely Flash Esports overcommitted there. Especially Snow. There was not really a need to go ahead and take down 3T all by himself. And now Team 3T, they're eliminated from this game too. Flash Esports and INF is the 2 teams surviving. Other 2 teams surviving in this game. 3 to fight it is. Malone. He froze there. And Little Trump is the last man standing. Trying to get as much as information as he can. Back-to-back 2 games so well for Team Flash. Well, getting a winner chicken dinner here is so much difficult. But Little Trump will try his very much best. Inside that smoke, it's difficult for Team INF to put down Little Trump. But finally they'll do it and it is all over. Team INF getting that winner chicken dinner with plenty of eliminations. 12 eliminations for them. And hashtag 2 for Team Flash coming in with 2 eliminations. I hope you all guys have enjoyed it, ladies and gentlemen. If yes, do hit that like and that subscribe button. We'll be taking a short break, and right after the break, we'll be right back with match number 3. It's going to be Rondo. Till then, stay tuned. Alright, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Minivex Weekly Series hashtag 5 Grands is here, and it's time for Rondo. And here we go. Flight part initiating from southern regions of Baytown, finishing off towards the eastern regions of Rinjiang, that is. Alright, Rinjiang. Well, we all know where teams are gonna head. They're gonna head towards New York's factory. It's gonna be a huge clash coming in from New York's factory. Yulin is difficult to be accessed. A lot of teams are heading towards Muhopan as well. How is that possible? Well, those are all solo players. Killer Crew and Alpha Esports and even Team AET. That's Team N-War Esports. Yep. The whole N-War Esports is heading towards Muhopan. That's such a reverse psychology kind of a thing. They're gonna punish all the solo players surrounded near Muhopan. All the solo players present near Miramar. So yeah, a lot of teams are heading towards New York's factory. I know, we all know why they're doing this. But that's a direct gunfight against Team INF. Soren immediately gets knocked out. Tony is running and trying to find a vehicle for himself. He's trying to find a weapon for himself. And Tony gets knocked out. That was Last Hope Esports, who immediately got finished after dropping. VZ and Star is the duo surviving for now. ABZ will be taken down. Oh, ABZ is still alive. And ABZ knocks down Loopsy of 22 Esports. Still, it's a 1v2 left. Is he going to flush out Loopsy? Yep, he will. And how lucky is he? Just one shot connection was enough there to flush out Loopsy. ABZ putting the pin of that smoke grenade, just trying to bait 22 Esports. When he throws a knife there. It's straight away humiliation for 22 Esports coming by ABZ of Killer Crew. 22 Esports still not interested. Still doesn't want to take the initiative. Hitman is just in the corner, lying there. Star is the solo player surviving of Team Last Hope here. So all responsibility is on him to get more and more eliminations for his team. Adri now moves ahead and finishes ABZ. Well, his teammate has been flushed out too, so Adri is all alone here. Kazama Esports shows up out of nowhere. So Adri again, he gotta get this 1v3 for his team. He pinned the pin again, and that's what baited Kazama Esports, but Kazama Esports being very smart. He pulled the pin there. And Kazama Esports was very smart there. Kazama Esports flushing him out. Getting another frag for them. And we'll have to see how many frags more Kazama Esports can get for themselves. Rain Sap Alpha on the other end will be taken down. And Kazama Esports loves Miramar. As I said in the last game, that Miramar is their favorite map. Kazama Esports, I mean, they were surrounded by so many teams, they became the center of attraction. And that's why they got eliminated. But here in Rondo, comparatively, they got a great start. So sometimes, you know, out of the box things happen. Sometimes you play in the most vulnerable map. And that's what has happened with Kazama Esports. They have started pretty great. They should maintain the pace. G63 finishing Team RTZ, and revival will be provided to Khan. Farshad and Cancer will continue. Still, there are a lot of teams present here. Star is still finishless, still in that corner. Cam Army, Cabera is out. 33Z, Cam 0, 2 surviving. And they're standing against Kazama Esports. Teddy gets knocked out. And will the flush come in immediately? Because there's a threat of that frag being stolen. Was Star the last player surviving? Is Last Hope Esports eliminated from this game? We'll need to check it out. Yep, Last Hope Esports, they're out of this game. They're eliminated on 18th position. 0. Knocks down a player. Gets knocked out as well. All eyes on 33Z. It's a 1v1 to win, but Khan doing such a great job. Those bullets penetrating the helmet of 33Z and Cam Army. That's it for them. And now G63, maybe they will dominate New York's factory. Farshid is still finishless, and it's Khan contributing 7 out of how many? Out of 9. Wow, this game has just started in G63 jumping onto 9 elims. But what's he up to? All the players have been recalled back. In Kazama Esports, all the players are in the fighting zone. So this is a huge threat. And all your players are surrounded by enemies. There are so many teams present here. And though Kazama Esports have all their 4 players present in New York's factory, but still, third parties can lead to elimination. And King getting knocked out. There was Alpha of Alpha Esports out of nowhere from the corner. He'll be dealing that spray. And Rick, even he gets knocked out by Alpha. So Kazama Esports sort of fell on their face. Recalling all their players here in New York's factory, that's not a good decision. Second circle has been initiated, moves for a sudden shift. And all the teams present here, they have to move towards the circle too. Bro, maybe he's heading towards the recall tower. But Alpha now, he has to move ahead and initiate this fight. Revival has been provided to all the players. Reflex gets knocked out. T-Sync. Last player surviving of Team Sage. In New York's factory, and he pulls a grenade. In Kazama Esports, maybe they didn't hear the footsteps of T-Sync God. But King is going to get knocked out. Oh wow, King survives it. How lucky is he? And now Kazama Esports knows that they are dealing with a single threat here. On the rooftop of this New York's factory. Another grenade used by T-Sync God. And this time as well, King won't get knocked out. Nice reflex there by T-Sync God. But finally he'll be taken down. But doing the job. And that's the end. Team Sage facing a casualty. But that's a temporary casualty. They can get rid of it by using the recall beacon. Khan. Is he a solo player present in New York's factory? I guess Farshid is present along with him. So he's not all alone. But 8 elims. Khan knocks down another player. Now he'll be getting 9 elims. But this time in trade, Khan gets knocked out. That was Kazama Esports' Teddy. And Kazama Esports has to close in now as soon as possible. Because Khan is down. The most explosive player of Team Kazama Esports. And he was knocked out for a moment. Kazama Esports didn't take advantage of the situation. Khan will get knocked out again. And this time Farshid reviving him in a very bad place. Teddy still has an angle. Still the connections are being made. And Teddy will knock down Farshid there. G63. Bad decision by Farshid to revive his teammate just next to that window. And Kazama Esports now will be the solo team present here in New York's factory. Kazama Esports conquering New York's factory. 5 Williams. But is finished down and he'll be recalled back into this game. Kazama Esports using all the precautions, using that smoke as well. Flash Esports, they're heading towards the circle. Not much teams are right now present inside the circle. So a lot of teams are traveling. And while traveling, there is a possibility that most of the teams might mess up with each other right in the outer skirts. Team Flash, I guess. They're going after Team Cam Army. Team Cam Army is going after Team Flash. And Cam Army just using Wind Vehicle to move. Well, Trump gets knocked out. But that cover is being provided by the other players of Team Flash. The job is not done yet. Cabera is so much low. Will he be able to heal himself? He's using those bandages very wisely. Snow gets knocked out. Zenos! Oh no! Zenos completely wipes out the existence of Cam Army from this game. Cam Army gets eliminated on 16th position. Last game was so much epic for them. Cam Army, they got a winner chicken dinner. But here, Cam Army couldn't do much. And Team Flash, sort of took a revenge from the last game. But that was Team INF, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sorry. That was Team INF Esports who got a winner chicken in the last game. Not Team Cam Army. So yeah, INF Esports was the team who got a winner chicken in the last game. Sorry for the confusion. Red Say Esports will be targeted. And the Slamming is coming in so much quickly. Leo Esports going for the reckless first try again. He's a solar ray of hope. Marion gets caught off guard, and the flush will come in immediately. Leo Esports, the need to face a casualty. Try again will be taken down, but the problem is Leo Esports. Oh no! 22 Esports. They did the third party here. They did most of the job. 2 players of Leo Esports been knocked out. 22 Esports must rush towards this compound. They will secure this compound at the same time. They'll be getting frags. Oh what? Kazama Esports blind slamming from their side, and Kazama Esports has been sent back to the lobby, all 4 players. Can you believe that? That was so much quick by 22 Esports, and none of the players got knocked out. Kazama Esports, that was ugly. I don't know what they were doing here, and maybe there was some amount of confusion. They didn't know, I guess, that there was a team present inside that compound. Maybe that's the reason why they went for the slamming in an unexpected way. And you don't see Kazama Esports doing such blunders very often. These are some rare visuals. Charlie going after Team NWR. TBD Khan on the other end gets knocked out. It's G63. Yep. And the star player Khan has been knocked out. 10 eliminations out of 13. He's like a one-man army. And Leo Esports is so much closer to Team G63. This fight is gonna start. There's no way Leo Esports can duck this fight. SK, Bosque, 2 surviving. Let's see how much far they can go, how much long they can survive. They don't have no utilities. And Bosque doing a silly mistake. They get knocked out. G63 won't make a mistake. SK now is the last man surviving. Goes for the jump shot. Makes no connection. And he will be taken down by G63. That's the end. Elimination for Leo Esports. Silly mistake made by Bosque. Was no need to get knocked out there. 3T. Are they out of this game? No. Down to 2 players. Chokua. Now the solo player surviving. He's the only guy who has contributed in terms of finishes. So no team till now has gotten dual eliminations. Only G63 has got dual eliminations. Double-digit eliminations. That is 15. Double-digit eliminations would be a better word. Why is he knocking down G63? Did he get the confirmation? Not for now. Alpha Esports. Clashes while moving. Against Udain Sap. Yeah, there's only one team in the lobby who has double-digit finishes right now, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be Team G63. And as always, G63 playing aggressively, attacking every team they see. Charlie has been knocked out. Udain Sap catches Mr. Pro Bro off guard. Soya gets knocked out. Lighter is the last player surviving. And all of a sudden, this fight slipped out of the hands of Team Alpha Esports. And let's see what Lighter can do now. First of all, he needs to win this 1v1 against Two-Face. He knocks down Two-Face. Umbrid Volta closes in 2. Umbrid Volta gets knocked out. Alpha is the last man standing. Can Lighter win this 1v1 as well? And Lighter, oh my god! That was close. He was just gonna win this fight. Just gonna clutch 1v3 against Team US. But that won't happen. Team Udain Sap survives by the burst of margin. Look at the HP of Alpha. It's barely 10 HP. But yeah, he becomes a savior for his team. NWR, what was holding them? Well, NWR has usurped the privilege. DC God gets knocked out. Thomas doing a fabulous job there. DRT 26. Now the last player surviving. And He's in a clutching situation. Well, he's way back. Maybe NWR won't be able to reach here. They'll directly head towards the circle. And DRT26, that's a fabulous burst! Choking it. Gets knocked out. What a burst that was. Tuki Niti gets that revival immediately. Far shot of G63 gets knocked out. DRT26 bought himself enough time to head towards the circle. That's great. Khan has been flushed out. The most decorated player in this lobby is out of this game. That's a good news for each and every team present here. Because now G63, they are vulnerable and they can be taken down. Since Khan has been eliminated. This is going to be stage 5. We're heading to a stage 6. Circle moves for a northern shift. Flash Esports is going to find it very difficult to enter the circle. There's 2 players. And now Flash Esports joining the rare list. Teams who have secured double-digit finishes in this game. 10 items for them as well. Rudy is finished out. Loopsy gets knocked out. That is 22 Esports. Well, 22 Esports were in a great position. And they still are. Because I don't find any difficulty 22 Esports has to revive Loopsy. And the revival will be provided pretty easily. Dusky Sports. All their 4 players are alive. How did they manage to keep all their 4 players alive? That's the question. Xenos will be taken down by Tukinet. Flash Esports down to 1. Little Trump will be taken down by Ryzy. And 22 Esports, they're eliminated. They eliminated Flash Esports in 6th position. So it's a fight between 5 teams, 15 players. NWR, all their 4 players are alive. Test gets knocked out. And Dusk Esports is player number 2 gets knocked out. I don't know how to read this name, ladies and gentlemen. It's in Urdu. It's in I don't know what language that is. Arabic, Urdu. Scoffini gets knocked out. Loopsy that is! With Silicao. Taps Loopsy. Ouch! The help arrives immediately. Ran over knock by E4. And Ryzy putting in the final nail in the coffin. 22 Esports eliminates team Dusk Esports on 5th position. 4 teams, 11 players are now alive. Circle moves for an eastern shift. NWR right on the edge of the circle. And that's a good place to play. Udain Sap. Even they are present inside the circle. Can Udain Sap win this game? You know, the most of the time what happens with Udain Sap in the end circle, they're in a good touch. They have a good momentum, but all of a sudden that wave comes where they face 2 or 3 knocks and they end up getting eliminated from the game. So Udain Sap needs to watch themselves. And it has been a very long time I've seen Udain Sap getting a winner. Since I've seen Udain Sap getting a winner chicken dinner. It's high time. Chicken egg going after team 22 Esports. Alright. That's easy 4 who will be sent back to the lobby. And Chukinet with this 1 grenade, I guess he can eliminate team 22 Esports. Loopsy gets knocked out. TZ finishing Loopsy with that grenade. And just 1 player surviving now for team 22 Esports. That's going to be Ryzy. Udain Sap in a miserable situation. Amrit Bolti didn't even have a weapon in his hands. And again, Udain Sap missing a winner chicken dinner. Ryzy is the last man standing. It's a 4v1 fight. NWR about to get a 18 elims winner chicken dinner. And here they go. It is all over. 18 elims winner chicken dinner coming up from NWR's side. It's massive. It's massive. I hope you guys have enjoyed, and if yes, make sure to hit that like button and the subscribe button. We'll be taking a short break now, and we'll be right back with match number 4. Till then, make sure to hit that like and the subscribe button. Alright, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It's time for match number 4. Minivex weekly series, hashtag 5 grands. And again, we're heading towards the map of Erangel. And the flight path is completely favoring the southern regions of Erangel map. So it's a military base flight path. Will it be a military base circle too? Because the flight path is initiating from Primos, finishing off towards Milta. And whenever we need a good flight path, this kind of a flight path turns out. No team is heading to its Sosnoka military base. That's so much surprising. But Team Flash, I guess they're heading to its military base. Yep. Killer Crew headed towards Ferry Pier. Along with them, it's Team G63, I guess, who is heading towards Ferry Pier 2. Odain Sap inside the first circle as they're trying to access Quarry. 22 Esports is going to challenge Team Flash. Both the teams dropping in Sosnoka military base. It's going to be an epic fight. Both these teams filled with caliber and potential. And let's see who wins the fight here. No player of Flash Esports has found a weapon till now. And now Xenos has a weapon. And Xenos is trying to access a new building. Loopsy is so much low. But it's all fine. Risey, is he trying to chase any player for now? Yup. Trying to chase Snow, and Snow will get caught off guard. And the first flush will come in of this game. Team Flash is about to lose their player, but Snow very smartly just accessed the rooftop of the building, and one of the players of Team Flash has already accessed the tower. That's Lil Trump, so he'll provide the best cover to his teammate. Two teams present in Pachinki. Two teams in Milta. Hader gets knocked out. That's Team Sage. And where are they fighting? Team Sage. They usually drop in the compound right next to the Sosnoka military base. Bridge. The Wooden House compound. And Team Sage finding 2 eliminations for them. Ruthless Esports. I guess that is. Facing 2 casualties, not really a good way to start. Start off with a total number of 16 teams, 63 players. Just one team was playing with 3 players, and all the other teams playing with their OG lineups. Leo Esports versus Team 3T at Pachinki. 3T a bit safely they are playing, maintaining the distance, not completely messing up with Team Leo in the initial stages. So yeah, they're not in a hurry since they are present inside the circle. And it's about winning the fight, not losing it. So Team 3T will give their everything just to win this fight against Leo Esports, because they've had a lot of miserable games. And at least in this last game, they'd want to finish on a positive note. Gradually, 3T, they'll start closing in. And Leo Esports, as compared to 3T, has a much bigger portion to loot in this Pachinki area. 22 Esports is Easy 4 gets knocked out. Adri will be flushed out. Risey and Loopsy is the 2 surviving. And this is how the tide is turned. This is how the tables are turned. Risey was about to get knocked out there. Risey surviving by the barest of margins. He'll pop in that first aid before the players close in. Risey gets knocked out by Xenos. Loopsy turns out to be the last player of 22 Esports. And again, the same story. 22 Esports versus Team Flash happened in the very first game of Erangel as well. There as well. Loopsy was the last player surviving against Team Flash. And Loopsy almost clutched to Team Flash. Almost. Well, he took down maybe 2 players. That wasn't enough. And now again, Loopsy is in the same situation. In that game as well, Flash Esports faced a casualty immediately after dropping. Here as well. Loopsy gets the 3-5, won't be able to make this connection. He has a DBS here. So DBS is surely a game-changing weapon. And Loopsy will keep on running. Keep on bothering Team Flash. The way he keeps on changing his positions continuously. This is what puts your opponents into pressure. This is what builds pressure in a fight. And he's so much good at it. He'll continue to do that. Sage Esports gets their 3rd elimination. That's Alpha Esports out of nowhere showing up. Chasing God. Oh, he's low. But he's fine. Going into everything he has got. Is Alpha the last player surviving for Alpha Esports? Yep, he is. Last player surviving for Alpha Esports. Tusky Esports going for the third party. Alpha knocking down a player. Knocks down two. But Bear takes him down. Chasing God getting knocked out because of the grenade. So much unlucky is it. Silly Cow. Right behind the tractor he is. Rudy gets some time to go for the revival. But Team Sage hasn't noticed that two players were already knocked out of Dusky Esports. They didn't notice that. DRG26 knocking down Silly Cow. And Silly Cow will be flushed out immediately. And it's a 3v3 fight now. DCG Team Sage, they'll be making things manageable for them. All three players, they're on their feet. Jump shot. But DRG26, no connections will be made. Bear barely survives that Molotov. He's still safe. Caulfield jumps down and makes a mistake. He'll be taken down immediately. Bear, gets knocked out. Dusk, he was so much low there. It was just formality. And Dusk will be taken down too, and that's the end. Dusk Esports gets eliminated right in the initial stages of this Erangel game. First circle is about to be finished up. Second circle is about to begin. 4 eliminations coming in for Team Flash. Loopsy will be sent back to the lobby. 22 Esports. Both the Erangel games have been the same for 22 Esports. Getting eliminated in the initial stages. Getting eliminated by the same team on the same drop location. Sort of a deja vu for them. Same map. Everything has been same. Just got 1 elimination. Got eliminated early. There's 10 teams and a total amount of 34 players on our live. We've seen a lot of action in the initial stages. And Cam Army, they are taking on Team NWR. Cabrera is out. Cam Army is down to 3 players. NWR should crush Team Cam Army right here, right now, because they've already built the pressure on Team Cam Army. But letting them slip out of this situation could be later on fatal for Team NWR. But NWR shows up out of nowhere, and almost 2 players have been knocked out. So that's a great retaliation, and NWR overcommitting here for sure. Rujin knocks down another player, and Unreal is the last man standing for NWR. Well, I talked about NWR crushing Team Cam Army here, and not being crushed by Team Cam Army. They could have controlled themselves, but NWR, I mean, they went in, the guns blazing. That's not how you retaliate. Surely they overcommitted. Cam Army putting in the bullets right, left, and the center. The great job. The retaliation was epic. The way Cam Army defended that slamming of Team NWR, that was epic. And especially dodging those runovers. NWR must be regretting this decision, but it's fine. Ruthless Esports, are they out? Hitman gets finished off. Toast is the last man standing. So, the elimination is not that far. Ruthless Force. Toast versus the whole lineup of Leo Esports. 1v4 it is. Messi is unaware of Ghost's position, maybe. But he's moving cautiously. And Ghost just lies down there right in the window. Leo Esports gets it down. Gets any down on that building. They might use utilities. But Bosque wildly driving his monster truck. And finally now Leo Esports, they'll get to know about Ghost's position. And Messi trying to find an angle. That will be Marin. Will be putting in the final nail in the coffin. And that will be 6th elimination coming in for Team Leo. Ruthless Force, they are eliminated on 9th position. 8 teams, 27 players. This is a small number as compared to the second circle. Because all the teams, they are playing aggressively. Cam Army now. They are going after Team Last Hope. And Last Hope is kind of an easy target because They've had miserable grand finals. The first 3 games weren't that great. And in this last game, Last Hope Esports completely prioritizing the survival. It's pretty much easy because the lobby is so much aggressive and dirty. Not much players are alive, so getting placement points is damn too easy in the last game. But Last Esports, even though it's easy to get placement points in the last game, still, Last Hope Esports won't be able to do that. Now, Leo Esports show up out of nowhere. So, Leo Esports, they might fight Team Cam Army here. And Last Esports might use this situation as an advantage and sneak out of here. They won't be any more into trouble. Cam Army feels the presence. Even Leo Esports, they are trying to target VZ of Last Hope. And he's the last player surviving. So Last Hope Esports, they're just down to 1 player. Cam Zero gets knocked out. VZ might get knocked out. VZ dealt a brilliant spray there, but that was not enough. Where is Vujan? He is present right here along with his teammates. Oh! Vujan may be connected ahead there on Marin while he was moving. And if Marin would have got knocked out here, that would have been such a disgust for Marin. Such an unlucky knock that would have been. 33Z is the last player standing as Vujan gets knocked out. Focusing on revival is just a waste of time. It's not really an opportunity to revive your teammate here. This is a time to choose violence and 33Z will be taken down. Cam Army gets eliminated on 8th position. VZ is still surviving there, right on the broken wall of that barn house. Leo Esports must have understood that, and they will take care of the situation too. They will take care of VZ. But the blue zone has started bothering VZ. And VZ is so much stubborn, he hasn't stepped out of that compound yet. He's still holding there. Where is he? Is he inside that shack? Where is he holding? VZ will be taken down by Bosque. He couldn't even see Bosque. It was right in front of his eyes. And that's the end for Last Hope Esports. They're eliminated on 6th position. 5 teams, 16 players are now alive. Flash easily making it to the top 5. They're in contention, so they deserve to play passive. First game, it was #3. Second game, #2. Well, in Miramar, they lacked with eliminations. Rondo wasn't that great for Team Flash. And now this Erangel again. They've already made it to the top 5. If they keep on avoiding action, they might even make it to the top 3 or top 2. But still, we haven't seen any winner chicken dinner by Team Flash. Team Flash deserves a winner chicken dinner after the kind of performance they've showcased in front of our eyes. Urain Sap, as always, in the last game, Urain Sap, they always play passive. And they're always desperate to, get good position in the last game. Or at least in 1 game out of 4. And in the last game, most of the times, they're able to get good position because, as always, the last game lobby is kind of easy because players play aggressively. You don't have to take any chance. If you keep on holding, the players will themselves push. So most of the times, you don't even have to take the initiative if you're just holding. Players love challenges in the last game, and that's the reason why they play aggressively. Even Team INF, they're in contention. So it's a contest between Team INF and Team Flash. And Team Flash, in this game, they're way ahead of Team INF because they've already eliminated a team. They have 4 eliminations. Federales, by the way, with their opening created. Not finishing Charlie, but Federales will pay 2. He's knocked out. Tony and teammates, Donnie and Trigger, is moving forward to provide assistance. But they got a bit late. Two-Face a bit low. Amrit Bolte gets knocked out. Oh, Two-Face! You cannot wander like this, like you're in a garden. Alpha is the last man standing. Rain Sap fell on their face. They've trembled really bad. They're about to get eliminated. Tony is moving closer. Alpha will find no connections. Tony is in a wide open area while Tony stops. Alpha will be taken down by Tony's grenade, and that's the end. Team Rain Sap gets eliminated on 5th position. 4 teams, 11 players. It's a small number. Stage 4 has just initiated. And yeah, in this last game as well, Udain won't be able to get that winner chicken dinner. This is the problem with Team Udain. I don't know, in the end circle, they have the numbers advantage, they have good position, they have the circle as well. But I don't know how they end up losing. They always end up losing the game. Most of the times, they have the numbers advantage, they've done everything right. But all of a sudden, they face casualties in groups, like 2-3 casualties at the same time. Not just one. But a casualty associated with another, and they end up getting eliminated from the game. That's the story we see most of the times. In their case, they need to figure out what's wrong actually. Because like this, it won't really work out for them. Leo Esports going after Team INF. It's a 4v3 fight. But Team INF is moving with a hovercraft, and that's a bothering thing. Because hovercraft is always a pain in the heart. Marin has the MP3. Tony takes down 2 players with a spray. Surely Marin overcommitted there. Bosque healing himself. INF Esports now having the upper hand in this fight. It's a 2v2 fight, by the way. Tony knocking down Bosque. Tony gets knocked out in trade. Tony is the last man standing. Tony goes for the jump shot and he takes down Messi. Leo Esports will be shut down. They're eliminated on 4th position. Flash Esports, you need to close in as soon as possible. Half of the job can be done now. But G63 is surprising Team Flash. Lil Trump is out. Malone takes down G63. And now it's a 2v3 fight. And INF Esports knows where Team Flash is. So the Miramar story repeating itself again. 2v3. Flash Esports versus Team INF. In Miramar, INF won that fight. Flash Esports, can they get the revenge? Can they get a revenge over Team INF? Can they make it happen? Xenos, by the way, rotating and trying to stab Team INF in their backs. Trying to catch Team INF by the necks. And Tony, I guess, he was 2 steps ahead. He knew what Team Flash is trying to do here. Tony right now, he's moving with that hovercraft. He's pretty much chill. Trigger closes in. And by this time, I guess INF should have known the position of players of Team Flash. But that hasn't happened. They're still searching for players. And they'll keep on searching. And Donnie, well, he notices some vehicles there. And Donnie suspects that there are players around. And Tony saw Malone. Information has been provided to the players. Team INF. Who are the players of Team INF? Tony goes for the spray. Won't be able to make these connections. And now this fight has officially started. So what is Team INF going to do? Are they going to wait for the circle to form? Or are they going to end this fight right here, right now? 8 eliminations already they have. Get confidence. If you win this fight and get this winner chicken, you are winning these grand finals. 100%. You are winning this grand finals for yourself. So INF Esports, I guess they are going to give a slow death to Team Flash. Maybe by just holding and letting the circle decide who it's going to favor. Team INF or Team Flash. Or maybe Team INF will take the initiative and try to put an end to this game. Right here, right now. You never know. Downey just chilling inside the hovercraft. It's important for Team Flash to at least win 1 game out of 4. And we can really understand why they are being so much cautious about it. Why they are thinking so much about it. Team INF has already got a winner chicken dinner. And we can really understand that Team INF, they want to win this grand finals. So maybe that's the reason why Team INF, they are playing so much passive. But this is the strategy which I was talking about. Team INF will wait for the circle to decide who is it gonna favor. And circle is favoring Team INF. What's supposed to brave? INF is present inside the circle. Team Flash has to move. And this is where Team INF will try to catch the players of Team INF off guard. And Tony, maybe he can pin down Xenos. Maybe he can get in the skin of Xenos, if possible. But Xenos is directly heading towards Trigger. The shots coming in by Tony. Xenos loses some amount of HP there. Malone hasn't started rotating yet, but now yes, he will grab his vehicle. And he has started rotating. And Malone is trying to provide cover to his teammate. Why don't you burst out that hovercraft? Don't they have ammo? Does Team Flash have enough amount of ammo? If they do, just damage that hovercraft. Till now, you could have easily damaged that hovercraft. Xenos! Like this, you'll end up knocking down yourself. And Xenos, he was trying to reload, and that was a bait. And Tony fell for that. And Tony gets knocked out. That was a genius move by Xenos, and it's a 2v2 fight. Tony is out of the circle. He's in the blue. Tony will get knocked out, and it's just a 1v1 left for Xenos, and he has to win it at any cost. First of all, you need to heal yourself, Xenos. It's going to be a 1v1 against Trigger, and he has the circle advantage. And Xenos doesn't have much healings left with him. So he has to just pop in these bandages, which is going to be time consuming. But at the same time, you need to have enough amount of HPs in order to take down a player like Trigger. This is going to be epic. Will Xenos be able to win this 1v1? Oh, wow, by that time, maybe he'll be able to revive Malone as well. What is Trigger doing? Why isn't he pushing in? Doesn't he know that Xenos was lacking with his HPs? Malone was already knocked out. And Xenon is not looking in the proper direction he must look. Xenon is not looking in the direction he must look. But it's all fine. Trigger is still present inside the circle. And it's the same story. Team Flash needs to walk inside the circle. But now Trigger, he's right on the edge. Team Flash, they're still out of the circle. Trigger has 3 grenades. Hasn't used a single grenade till now. I don't know what is he saving those grenades for. I mean, you have all the utilities. You can at least try your luck. But Trigger right at the corner of the circle, just holding, just waiting for his opponents to make a mistake. Now he goes for a spray. Reflex is coming in. Trigger knocks down Malone. Xenos is so much low, but again he'll be getting a chance. But now Trigger, at least this time, can he use some grenades? Yep, he will use a grenade there. And Xenos won't be bothered by those grenades. Malone will be flushed out for sure. And now it's a 1v1 left. Xenos moving from down the ridge. Trigger spots in. Xenos moves in open areas. Xenos survives. And Trigger is panicking here. This is absolute panic, which we can see. Xenos steals that spray. That was a close call. Trigger losing his HP. Xenos stepping up in open areas. Trigger trying to change his position. Xenos immediately pulls a grenade. But this 1v1 has been so much delayed. This fight could have been a long time ago. But Trigger took so much time. And he's not even healing himself completely. He's popping in that bandage. Popping in that first aid. And then quitting it. Cancelling it. He's clearly panicking here. Trigger, you need to maintain your calm if you want to get this job done. But now the blue zone shows up. Trigger deals that damage. Xenos has the ridge cover. And he'll be taken down. What a blunder by Team INF. That's the end. Winner, chicken dinner coming in for Team Flash with 80 limbs. But what has Trigger done here? What has he done? Well, he gifted this winner chicken dinner to Team Flash. And that's the end of match number 4, ladies and gentlemen. I'll be taking a leave. Bye bye, good night, and take care.